Why some Jamaicans are suddenly obsessed with Ibrahim Traoré. Something strange is happening on Jamaican social media. Among the usual posts about dancehall, politics, and daily struggles, a new name keeps popping up: Ibrahim Traoré. But who is he, and why is he suddenly the subject of admiration among some Jamaicans? Traoré isn't a dancehall artist or a Jamaican politician. He's the 37-year-old president of Burkina Faso, an African country thousands of miles away. Yet his rise to power and his bold anti-colonial rhetoric have struck a chord with a growing number of Jamaicans who feel the island needs leaders just like him. In this video, we're going to break down who Ibrahim Traoré is, why his message is resonating in Jamaica, and whether this fascination is just a trend or a sign of something deeper brewing in the Caribbean. Ibrahim Traoré came to power in 2022 through a military coup that overthrew a government many saw as weak and controlled by foreign interests. At just 34 years old, he became the world's youngest president, taking the reins of a nation plagued by jihadist violence and economic struggle. For many, he represents a bold break from the past. But Traoré didn't just take power, he took a stand. He expelled French troops, rejected Western NGOs, and began promoting a vision of African sovereignty and military self-reliance. His speeches have made headlines across the continent, filled with fiery denunciations of imperialism and calls for a new generation of African leadership. For Pan-Africanists around the globe, Traoré is quickly becoming a symbol of resistance. His military fatigues, no-nonsense tone, and unapologetic rejection of Western control have turned him into a modern revolutionary icon, especially among young people disillusioned with traditional politics. Why Jamaicans are paying attention. Many Jamaicans, particularly in Afrocentric and Rasta communities, see Traoré as someone who echoes their long-standing frustrations with foreign economic pressures, corruption, and cultural erosion. His message speaks to the wounds of slavery, colonialism, and the post-independence struggles that continue to haunt the Caribbean. On platforms like TikTok and YouTube, Jamaican creators are translating his speeches, overlaying them with roots reggae, and hailing him as a real general or Africa's last hope. Some have gone so far as to compare him to Marcus Garvey, suggesting that Traoré is finally putting Pan-Africanism into real-world action, not just rhetoric. And in a country where skepticism of Western influence runs deep, from IMF-imposed austerity to restrictive U.S. immigration policies, Traoré's fierce independence strikes a nerve. He says what many wish their leaders would say. He does what many feel their leaders are too afraid or too compromised to do. This fascination reached a new level recently when a group of Rastafarians in Jamaica held a small but symbolic celebration in honor of Ibrahim Traoré. They drummed, chanted, and praised his leadership as a beacon of Black unity and African pride. The images quickly spread online, sparking both curiosity and controversy. To Rastafarians, Traoré represents a spiritual warrior. Much like Haile Selassie was once hailed as a divine figure, some are beginning to view Traoré through a quasi-messianic lens. While not claiming he is a prophet, they admire his resistance against Babylon, a term Rastas often use to describe Western imperialism and systemic oppression. This symbolic elevation is powerful. In a world dominated by Western media narratives, the idea of a young, unapologetically African leader being celebrated in Jamaica sends a message. The Pan-African spirit is not dead. It's evolving, taking new forms, and finding new icons.
That's why we are here in support of Ibrahim Traoré to liberate Mother Africa from the white colonizers.
Is this a fad or a movement? Of course, not everyone in Jamaica is talking about Ibrahim Traoré. Many still don't know who he is. But those who do are passionate, vocal, and growing, particularly among youth, activists, and the politically conscious. The online discourse isn't just admiration, it's inspiration mixed with frustration. People are beginning to ask real questions. Why don't our leaders speak like him? Why aren't they standing up to the global powers that keep Jamaica in economic chains? Could the Caribbean produce its own Traoré? And if so, what would that leader look like? It's too early to say whether this will lead to real change or fizzle out like a viral trend. But one thing is certain: Traoré has lit a spark. Whether it becomes a fire depends on whether Jamaicans are ready to transform admiration into activism. While Ibrahim Traoré's rise has won him admiration across Africa and in diaspora communities like Jamaica, not everyone sees the trend as purely organic. A recent article by the BBC highlights how AI-generated content and misinformation have been used to glorify Traoré's image, sometimes even fabricating celebrity endorsements and deepfake videos to boost his appeal. The article details how videos of Traoré are being edited and recirculated with dramatic music, Pan-African imagery, and false quotes, creating a larger-than-life persona that may not reflect the complex realities on the ground in Burkina Faso. Some content even pairs Traoré with fictional support from global icons like Beyoncé and Putin, raising questions about who is behind this digital campaign and what their goals might be. For Jamaicans inspired by Traoré, this is a crucial moment for discernment. It's easy to fall in love with a symbol, especially one who says all the right things. But true Pan-Africanism requires more than viral speeches and heroic images. It demands truth, accountability, and a deep understanding of the systems we're trying to dismantle. Not every revolutionary is what they seem. So, why are some Jamaicans suddenly obsessed with Ibrahim Traoré? It's not just about a man in military fatigues. It's about what he represents: courage, defiance, and a dream of true independence that many feel Jamaica has yet to achieve. It's about longing for a leader who doesn't just promise change but commands it. But as we've seen, admiration must come with caution. Social media can elevate heroes, but it can also distort reality. Before we adopt someone as a symbol, we need to understand the full picture. Because if we're going to build a better future, we can't afford to be fooled by illusions. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Jamaica needs a leader like Traoré? Or is this obsession just misplaced hype? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Caribbean-centered political insights.